Who are you, really? Beneath the daily routine, beneath the constant stream of thoughts, and the very human feeling of living inside your own head. There's a concept in Buddhist philosophy called dukkha. It refers to a chronic, underlying dissatisfaction built into the mind itself. It explains why even when you follow the script, when you get the right job and find the right partner, there is often a lingering, quiet sense that something is still missing. This psychological friction relies entirely on a specific belief, the idea that you are an isolated, separate fragment, disconnected from the rest of existence. We feel exhausted because it takes a massive amount of continuous energy to maintain that fabricated, separate identity. What we usually call the ego is in reality a persistent state of internal resistance. All physical matter is a slowing down or resistance of energy. The ego works the same way. It is an active pattern of resistance, a branching structure of no against the natural flow of life. When energy meets resistance in the natural world, it creates a specific geometry. You can see it here in the branching network of fungal mycelium, where life takes form by navigating through a medium. We find that exact same biological structure inside ourselves. These are human neurons. Our very biological hardware for perception is built into this same pattern of branching energy. Zoom all the way out, and the fabric of the universe follows the same rule. This is the cosmic web of dark matter filaments. From the microscopic to the macrocosmic, nature uses this geometry to distribute energy across space and time. If nature is a play of energy meeting resistance, then your sense of I is simply a localized instance of that friction. Your suffering isn't a personal failure. It is the structural result of a single mind playing hide and seek with itself. In Eastern traditions, the practice of awakening is called sadhana, but it isn't about adding more techniques or spiritual concepts to your life. It is a process of total undoing. The first thing to undo is the trap of naming. The moment we assign a word or a label to whatever is happening right now, we immediately separate ourselves from experiencing life directly. That naming leads to the trap of preferences. The mind decides what it likes and what it wants to avoid, which creates the illusion that there is a separate chooser sitting behind your eyes. To break the loop, you simply observe the immediate present. Notice the feeling of your breath, the light in the room, or dust drifting in the air, and do it without evaluating any of it. The I thought cannot survive in a state of pure, non-evaluative observation. Awakening is found by dropping those filters of the mind. Here is the paradox. The part of your mind that decides it wants to achieve awakening is the exact same ego that prevents it from happening. The ego cannot dismantle itself. To give the conditioned mind the job of finding freedom is like asking the fireman to put out a fire he is secretly feeding. It can only pretend to seek the truth while it actively protects its own survival. This isn't an achievement, it's a process of removal. Instead of constructing a new spiritual persona, we begin peeling back the labels and self-images we've been wearing since birth. It works like art restoration. The sculptor didn't add material, he chipped away the superfluous stone to reveal the form that was already there. Liberation is the profound relief of realizing that the seeker was the lie. The self has never been bound, and it never needed to be rescued. If you direct your attention inward, past the mental labels and the constant noise, you arrive at a simple sense of I amness that remains even when your thoughts fall silent. Teachers across history have pointed to this same non-dual realization. Ramana Maharshi taught that investigating the source of that I thought is the most direct path to the truth. When you push past the illusion of the ego, duality collapses. The hard split between the subject acting as the witness and the outside world acting as the object entirely dissolves. J. Krishnamurti described this state as a choiceless awareness without a center. It is a moment where the thinker and the thought disappear together into a single current of being. The witness is the last veil. True awakening is realizing there was never a witness standing on the bank, and there was never a river to watch. There is only the ineffable current of life. What remains is primordial awareness. It is the quiet, luminous background of all experience that persists even when the noise of the mind drops off. You are relieved of the oppressive responsibility to fix your ego. You don't have to control or evaluate anything. You only need to rest in the awareness that is already here. This state is not a mystical fireworks display. It is the natural, intimate state of being alive without any resistance to what is. Awakening is the funeral of who you thought you were, and the beginning of a life lived as a simple act of service to the one mind of nature.